It's going down. Put some
Emergency press conference live from the AFFL headquarters in DJ Cool George's basement. No bias towards him, but he might get a good pick. Just throwing that out there. So got a couple storylines. First and foremost, I want to say that there's been a little hatred towards the commish, aka Dean Goodell. There's been words such as dictator, and I just want to say right off the bat that I will not tolerate any of that, and that is unacceptable, and I will be docking points for any future incidents such as that. Most specifically, Lucas Santolini. I don't like his attitude towards the commish. Just saying, he may get 10th pick. I don't know. May have that power. But moving on, we have a new addition in the league, Bobbert. Yeah, I don't know. Not too good, but if we'll let it slide. Next, I'd like to do a little breakdown of the league. The field is looking pretty slim this year. I'm not really scared of anyone. But I'd like to start off with the worst, that being Chris Coletti. He's been a known bum throughout the years. Last year, as you all know, he finished last in both leagues. Was just atrocious. Pretty much had one of the worst drafts I've ever seen. He took Andrew Luck in the 3rd round and was proud of it while everyone was laughing at him. Embarrassing. Lost a lot of reputation in that. I feel like I'm talking too much about him, and I won't even waste my breath on him because he's a scrub. My prediction, 0-13. I'd be surprised if he wins a game. Next up, I'd like to talk about Rich Newton, who, I don't know if you know this, but has the roundest head in the world, which makes him obviously bad at fantasy football. He basically looks like the Gerber baby. And has a similar IQ to the Gerber baby. No surprise there. I don't think I've ever seen Rich make the playoffs, and I don't think that's ever going to change. I just don't think it's in him to make the playoffs. There's just something about him. He usually starts off good, gets some good points, but he just can never pull together a good season. I feel the same way this year, and my prediction is 4-9. Just never good. Next, I'd like to talk about Chris Girthy Murphy. This is a good shout-out, because I have a lot of respect for Chris, because he always drafts a somewhat mediocre team, but ends up going above 500 and somehow makes the playoffs, even though he has the least amount of points in the league. Happens every year. My prediction is 7-6 and makes the playoffs. Might even win it. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But last, I'd like to give a shout out to Lucas, aka Flucus Santolini, the defending champ. Lucas is known around the league as the biggest trade whore. So if he ever offers you a trade, I highly recommend just not listening and just nodding your head and just ignoring it, because it's completely pointless to trade with him. He basically had a very lucky season last year. Somehow won it. Drafted Todd Gurley. Who else did he draft? It doesn't matter. It's not important. He's a bum. And we all know the most controversial moment of the season last year was a trade he pulled with Anthony Lucci, which sent the leagues in an uproar. It was Rashard Matthews and Alfred Blue for Calvin Johnson. I would like to just go ahead and say that was possibly the worst trade I've seen in the 6 or 7 years I've been doing fantasy football. Just a joke. The league almost didn't veto it, but we did. Just embarrassing. That was ran by Chris Coletti, that league, of course. He almost didn't veto it. He let the league decide. Me, if I see a trade like that, I might veto it. You can call me a dictator, but I really don't give a fuck. He also complained about the league not being made soon enough. That may contribute to a shitty draft pick. I don't know. There's a lot of other people in the league. Devin Moore. We got Richie Porfilio. Who else? These are all contenders, but I just don't have any material on them. Jack Howell, always a good player. Living the Cape life. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But last, I'd like to say Dean Goodell. I am predicting a championship. 13-0, doesn't lose in the playoffs, most points scored, takes it home, and wins his own league and takes all your money. So how about that? Emergency press conference over.
Take you to the top with me, girl.